All right, we rolling? Yeah, we're rolling. Okay, sweet. We are back. My name is Jaden Eric Bodwin, and today we've got another product review for you. Today we're going to be talking about the Pixel G1s RGB video light. Right there. Gonna go over a few things. What's in the box? What are the specs? Gonna do a demonstration of all the features, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of photography footage I took using this light. Now, before we jump right into it, I want to remind everybody to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. So, what's in the box? As you can see here, we have all the contents. You get your video light. You also get two adapters. One so that you can put it on a tripod, and the other one for your cold shoe adapter on your camera. We also have a USB-C charging cable and a nice little cloth pouch. That's soft. Yeah. And of course, instructions. English, Chinese, German, and Japanese. I can only read English, so let's try to read the German. Just kidding. This light cost me $100 Canadian on Amazon, which is incredibly affordable, very powerful light. Does it work for you? Let's go over some of the specs. I know, there's so much to talk about. This is the exciting part. Actually, one of the really cool things about it is it's got a full aluminum body. So if you drop it, you don't need to worry too much. It's not made of plastic. It has a 360-degree swivel, so that once you put it on your camera or tripod, you can swivel it out. There are two additional threaded holes so that you can put down a microphone or some other crazy effect that you want. How about the actual lights? There are 80 warm LEDs that can go from 2500 to 8500K, so you can get really, really warm and really, really cool light. There are also 70 RGB LEDs, 1500 lux at half a meter, which is quite powerful. From if you're vlogging and you're holding your camera out at arm's length, you're gonna blind yourself. You can see in the footage here that is precisely what I did when I was outside at night in the park. So be aware that you don't actually need to run this thing at full power. Speaking of power, the battery runs for about 2.5 hours, and on a 5-volt charge takes 2.5 hours to charge, but you can charge it 5 volt, 9 volt, or 12 volt. So you can get some pretty fast charging times with this. I've found that I've never burnt through the whole battery when I'm out in the field, which is fantastic. Last thing about the battery, it's 3200 milliamps, which is probably more or about the same as your phone. And if you have a portable charger, you can easily run this thing for quite a long time. A great thing about charging is that they've cut out a notch on the swivel chassis so you can plug your USB-C through there. Last thing, this whole unit weighs 450 grams, so roughly a pound if you're using the imperial system, which you shouldn't, because the metric system is far superior. There's a rear display on the unit as well. This will show your battery power, which mode you're in, and the settings of that mode. There's also an RGB indicator on the back, which functions like a color wheel, 0 to 360 degrees. More on that later. For the actual buttons on this unit, we have a power slider on top. We have a dimmer knob on the side, as well as a button. The button will change your power in 20% increments. There's a set button on the side, which will change your mode between the 3 main modes. Then we have a function dial on the bottom, as well as a function button. The function button will cycle through the different aspects of the mode you're in. So what are the 3 modes? Well, the first one is easy. It's straight lights. They call it CCT, which is, what does it say here? Correlated color temperature. Correlated color temperature is basically a fancy way of saying light, white light. Do you want it warm or do you want it cool? This can go from 2500 to 8500K, so it's very easy to match with any type of light, If you're out shooting in golden hour and you want to mimic that glow, very easy. Or if you're using soft boxes like I am, which are at 5500K, I can match those. The second mode is our standard RGB mode, and this has a 360-degree color wheel function, as I mentioned, and then you can also adjust the saturation. So if you find you're getting too much red or too much blue, it's easy to tone that down so it's not overpowering your shot. The third mode is the effects mode, and this is one that I don't think I'm going to use too often, so I'm going to look at my notes to remind myself what all these buttons do. Okay, so the effects mode is broken into 4 different categories. We have Flash Mode, which has Flash Mode 1, Flash Mode 2, and Paparazzi. The second one is Scene Light Effect. Ooh. The first one is Candlelight. There's also a Screen Effect, and then there's a Breathe Effect. The third mode in the effects series is RGB, and this is your standard party mode. So you have a slow ebb where it basically cycles through all the colors. You have a fast one, and then you have one where they'll flash. The last mode is for special vehicles. So you have police, ambulance, and fire. Let's take a look at how these look against a white background. So I'll cycle through each mode and I'll show you the different functions, and you'll be able to see the rear display as well. We're roughly 1 meter away from this white sheet. That'll give us a pretty clear indication of the colors that we're getting. So to start, we have a slider on top for our power, and you can see the OLED screen on the back lights up. We're at 58%, and each bar on the battery indicator gives you 20%. We can dim it with this dial. It goes down in 1% increments, and then we can press the button on the side to go up or down in 20% increments. Right now we're at 5500K. This goes all the way up to a nice cool 8500, and we can go down to 2500. We'll set this back to 5500 where my softbox lights are calibrated, and we'll go into our next mode, which is the RGB mode. Here we have H for hue, and as I mentioned, this is a 360-degree color wheel. So as we go through, we go from red, 120 is green. We can keep going through. Eventually we'll get to 240, which is corresponding to blue. And going through the purples and magentas up to 360 or 0 for red. Now, if we press the function button, we'll go down to our saturation. If we want less color coming through, or if we want more color coming through. We'll go to our next mode now. This is our effects mode. So our first one, this is flash number 1, flash 2, and paparazzi mode. Next, we have our candlelight setting, screen, and the breathe effect. This is our party mode. You can see that it cycles through all of the colors. Turn the function knob, goes faster, and then flashing. The next mode is our special vehicles. So we have a police, a fire, and ambulance. Depending on the country you're in, these might be different. And let's go back to normal mode. And then we can power it off with that slider. So there you go. $100 RGB video light, 3 modes. You've got normal light, you've got red, green, blue, you've got crazy functions. I don't know what else you could ask for. More power, but it's not going to be as compact. That's great. Let me know what you think of this down in the comments. Maybe you have another suggestion for a portable light that's this versatile. I'd like to hear about it. don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, hit subscribe, go take some photos, make some videos. Out of here.